Durban.
Durban was awesome, man. We were there Friday, Saturday, came back Sunday. And you know what? For the first time in a long time, well, actually, for me, Dave, it's the first casual networking event we did in Durban at 4 o'clock to about 7 at the village table. So awesome to get to, back to live events and to network with Durbanites. And there's a big message from Durban. And that was there's a lot of want, hunger, and need for doing property deals in Durban. So we have started building our team in Durbs, which was amazing. And then Saturday we had the one-day workshop. Again, from early in the morning until about 6, 7 o'clock at night. Loads of value, loads of fun, new members in our network, which is awesome. So a big shout out to all the Durbanites and the Durban people. We had a great time, and we'll definitely be back. And how about yourself, Dave? You're obviously in a new flat now. Are you settled in yet?
No, not yet. Not even close. But you know how the ladies are with we went furniture shopping this weekend, which is always fun. Thrilling. And yeah.
Like couches and chairs.
Furniture arriving this weekend, and yeah.
Yeah.
Fun. It is what it is.
One step closer.
Yeah. Hopefully I don't have to move for another 3-4 years.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. You always forget how bad it is until you do it again.
Oh no, you'll never move again, and then you go move again. Crazy.
Yeah.
Cool.
All good.
I'm getting us here on my phone to see who's joining us. And while people do join us, ladies and gents, today is going to be really interesting. Today is all our property entrepreneurs. We have Sershin Moodley, the regional manager of Durban and Bloemfontein. In fact, I was with Sershin on Friday night talking about the Durban market, what's happening. And now's a great opportunity to ask Sershin. He's very experienced about TUHF, about the different products. How do you fit in? Are you a TUHF client? Where are you in your journey? Do you want to get financing from TUHF? If so, how does that look? What do you need to bring to the table? So this is it's a coffee chat with Andrew and Dave, and our guest speaker Sershin Moodley from TUHF, one of the sponsors of the SA Property Investors Network. So could you all please start tagging your friends? Anyone that's interested in property, please tag them in now. Give us some love on Facebook, give us some hearts, give us some comments, tag your friends in, and let us know. Let us know right now. Where are you? Where are you? You're in Durban, you're in Joburg, Pretoria. Are you a TUHF client? Do you want to become a TUHF client? If you don't know who TUHF is, don't worry. Sershin will be introduced to the business, their company, in about 5 minutes, because as usual, Dave, we'll greet anyone that's joined, and then you're going to take us through events.
Yeah, we've got Papela in, who's one of our regulars. Dina's in. Guys, if you're joining for the first time, let us know if you're here for the first time. It's always good to have new people here. Otherwise, I'm sure there's a bunch of our regulars, and their chat messages will start coming through in a couple of minutes. There's always a bit of delay. Otherwise, Drew, let me get into what's happening this week. There's some exciting stuff to talk about. We can go through there, and I'll just cover this week and next week because we're starting to get to the stage. We've got a bit of a gap, so it's always nice. So naturally, we're here today, as always, every Monday, 1 o'clock. So for those of you who are here for the first time, maybe bookmark it for next Monday, 1 o'clock. We'll be here again. Otherwise, this week we have one event to talk about, and that is our networking event up in Johannesburg. So really excited to be running this networking event. Post-COVID, we're happy to be back to real events. And part of the demand coming out of COVID is a lot of people said we want to attend a live stream, we want to attend virtually. So what Drew and I said is we're going to focus on the event, running the event nice and big in Joburg for the next couple of months, and live streaming everyone in from around the country. So I will share a link in a couple of seconds once I can find one. And that is March the 16th from about 6 to about 10. Drew, do you want to maybe talk about what you'll be covering, who we'll be interviewing? I know we've got a conversation on tax happening. So what's the plan?
Yeah, so look, on Wednesday, Dave, it's going to be a full jam-packed day because, yes, the actual event does kick off. Myself and Kali are your hosts, and we will be kicking off at 6:30, but you have the opportunity to come and meet our service providers before from about 5 o'clock to 6 o'clock. So if you want to speak directly to TUHF face-to-face or Absa Bank or Preferential or any one of our partners or sponsors, contact Alani, get to the Bryanston Country Club at 5, and you get to see our partners face-to-face on Wednesday. Then at 6:30, yes, we've got TUHF, we've got Uber Bank, Uber originators, we've got Absa Bank there. It's going to be quite a jam-packed night, I'll be honest. We'll be doing some speed networking, getting to know each other, because it's the first live public event that we've done in 2 years. So it's going to be from about 6:30 till about 10. Chili Boy and Bruno are talking about the outcome of the budget speech that took place a good few weeks ago. So how did the budget speech affect you and I as investors? And of course, Ukraine, Russia on Ukraine, is that going to affect us as property investors in South Africa? So that's what the main topic of the evening is going to be around. As South African investors, do we need to be worried? So Dave, and those events finish about 10. So bring your business cards, bring your smile. And here's a great thing. If you're not around the Gauteng area, you can still live stream that event from anywhere in the country or the world, that is.
100%. I'll be online with everyone who's joining remotely, either because of health concerns or, you're Cape Town and you don't want to fly up to Joburg. I can understand that. I don't want to go to Joburg. I'll be on the live stream with you guys, so we'll be talking online and we'll go from there. It's going to be really exciting to do that. Really nice to have everything shared like that. And Yaku can join.
Yeah, absolutely, which would be brilliant.
Awesome. Otherwise, moving a little further afield, that is it for this week. So nice quiet week. And then next week, like I said, coffee chat at 1 o'clock on Monday, and we have our coaching and legal support webinar on Tuesday night. So for those of you guys who are some of our courses or in some of our memberships, you would have received an email earlier today around joining that coaching and legal support. It's a really good opportunity for the guys who are starting learning to ask questions from myself and Andrew. We can go in there and dig into those. We also get Bruno from our attorneys. We generally have Alexa and Ashley from there, and Lisa from Intergent to come on board, answer some of the legal questions that Andrew and I are not legally allowed to answer. So really good. So that's next week, Tuesday. And then this week, Wednesday, is the networking event in Johannesburg or online. But that's it. Nice, quiet couple of weeks.
I think a nice difference, Dave, is the Monday coffee chat. That the Monday coffee chats, I'll be live streaming from England, from the UK. And we'll be talking about SAP and Global Invest. So yes, Wednesday night's about the outcome of the budget speech. Should you be investing in South Africa? Should you be diversifying? So if you want to find out more about, what's happening in the UK market, I'm going to be there this weekend. I'll be there Monday, and I'll be live streaming either from my office or from one of the properties. So it's nice to bring a different spin into these coffee chats. So please join us on Monday as well. Okay, Dave, should we look at introducing Sershin? And just before we do, ladies and gents, if you just joined us, welcome to Dave and Andrew's Coffee Chat at 1 o'clock with myself. And today we do have an awesome guest speaker, Sershin Moodley, from the regional manager of TUHF for Durban and for Bloemfontein. And I was going to introduce TUHF, but I'll get Sershin to introduce himself and TUHF as a company. And this is a great opportunity for you to ask Sershin any questions about TUHF. What product do they have? Who do they work for? And what's happening in the Durban market? Afternoon, Sershin. How are you?
How's it, Andrew? How's it, Dave? How are you doing?
Very good, and you? I must say, it is so good to be in Durban. Friday, Saturday. The weather was very humid. I arrived back yesterday, and the air was perfect again.
Yeah, it was great seeing you guys.
No, it's good to see you on Friday night, and good to see you again. Sershin, as you know, at the SA Property Investors Network, we work a lot with property entrepreneurs, and I think it's important that our market, our network, understand who you are, what play do you play in TUHF, and then let's talk about TUHF. Who is TUHF? What products do you have? And let's see what value we can add. So I think if you start off, Sershin, just by introing yourself.
I think you've done a good job so far. That's basically me. I take care of the KZN and Bloemfontein business for TUHF. Let's talk about TUHF more. TUHF is a financier, and we originally started off in CBDs, so the inner city of the major metropolitans. With the growth in the property market and the potential that we see within the cities we service, we've now started to branch out. So no longer will TUHF be the inner city financier. We're now financing in cities. What we try to do is we try to look for value where others may not see the potential. We offer finance to entrepreneurs that want to build rental stock with sometimes a commercial component, and we like to walk the journey with them, and I think that's what sets us apart from all the other financiers.
Absolutely. Now, tell me, Sershin, unlike the traditional banks, looking at your ideal client, there could be people aspiring to become, invest in the inner city. Do you take on any clients, or what requirements would an individual need in order to be a client of TUHF?
So firstly, you need to have a vision. You need to have a dream. You have to be passionate about property, and TUHF is not only people or bankers or ex-bankers that are here in business to make a profit, but we're also here to do change. And I'd like to think of ourselves as impact funders. We want to see the difference that we can make in society and to the people around us. We finance in the predominantly residential market, so we provide homes for people, and that's your most important security for a lot of us, is where we put our head down at night, where we bring up our kids, where we have our family over. Our ideal candidate is somebody that has the ability or wants to get involved in property finance, has some experience in property finance, has some equity, because we always love people with skin in the game. And we're happy to look at the options that are available to them and walk that journey with them.
Absolutely. And I'm just seeing here, Sershin, who's joined us at the moment, Dave. Who do you see that's joined us? Google from Durban, she's joined. Sar's joined. Who else do we have there? Let's just see. Quite a few people have joined us, which is great. Lots of people from Durban, which is awesome. Some of you here, you're new. Justin, afternoon. Hello, everyone. Bapela, fantastic. And now tell me, Sershin, and ladies and gents, while I'm talking to Sershin, if you have any questions for TUHF or how they work, please let me know. I think what's important, Sershin, is, and I loved what you said about a vision, understanding where you're going, making a difference, getting quality accommodation. Let's talk about an investor approaches you. Maybe they've got a small property portfolio. They're ready to take that leap of faith. They want to now go to the city. They want to do a 10, 15, 20 million rand project or property. Let's talk about that basic criteria. TUHF do not do 100% lending, correct?
Absolutely. I mean, I think if you've also, as you said, your example is you have an existing property portfolio, or even if it's just your home that you've financed previously, you'll understand that nobody wants to take all the risk. So it's a risk-based approach. We expect you to come in with some vested interest, some skin in the game. We expect you to come in with some equity contribution, and then we're happy to then look at what the numbers are on a particular transaction and go in where we are comfortable going in. We are quite aggressive. We do take a very entrepreneurial look on a property. We aren't a traditional funder. We are someone that structures deals that make commercial sense.
Absolutely. So even if the jockey's got loads of experience, Sershin, but the deal does not stack up, you won't lend the deal, because you will look at the jockey as well as, does this deal make financial sense? As in, if we lend on this project, if it's going to put the jockey under heavy financial pressure, you won't lend on the property. Is that right?
Absolutely, Andrew. The banking saying is the jockey and the horse. You need to have both that make business sense. If you're coming in with a whole lot of residential property and you have a flat here or a house there, it's very different from owning an entire apartment building or an entire mixed-use building, whether it's in the CBD or outside into our other focus areas. It takes a different mindset. Number one, we help you get on that mindset and change your focus from single unit to multi-unit understanding and understanding the entire business of cash flows and property management and rental disputes and all those other good things that come with managing 20, 30, 40 units in your property.
Absolutely. And then let's just talk about the financing element. Now, if I went to Absa Bank today and I went to go get a bond, like we were saying, on a one-bed flat or a house, there's going to be purchase costs that I must pay for. the traditional bank will give me a loan to value up to 100% to purchase the property, but any renovations or holding costs, I must fund myself. Let's talk about the difference with TUHF and their financing model. So, Sershin, I bring a building to you that needs to be redeveloped, or it needs R1 million renovation. The property is going to be vacant for 6 months. Now there's purchase costs, there's transfer duty, there's fees, there's buying costs. The building's going to be empty for 6 months, or even 8 months. And providing I'm the right jockey, providing the deal does make financial sense, just talk around the finance model of that.
So absolutely, Andrew. The reality is that, and going back to my previous point, is it's a different mindset running multi-united properties. We help the entrepreneur try to get that property in its best shape to attain the best rental that they can in the market. I'd like to pride ourselves in saying that we have some of the nicest buildings in the CBDs at the moment. And very soon we will have the nicest buildings in the cities. And you can drive past any TUHF building and you'll recognize the quality of finishes and the quality of people that are in our buildings as tenants. So with regards to development and redevelopment and renovations, it again depends on the jockey and the horse. Like you said, a deal needs to make business sense. For example, you're not going to go and buy a R1 million property, spend R500,000 when the end effect is going to be equal to 1.1 million value.
Yeah.
So it needs to make business sense in everything. And that's the beauty of our business. We're not a tick box. We're not I'll throw a whole lot of numbers into a feasibility valuation model and get a thumbs up value, and that's it. My PMs, our entire company, walks the project with you. We'll visit the building. We'll take you through the process. We'll walk the journey with your architect, with your contractors, and make sure that the deal is both valuable for you and for ourselves.
Absolutely. And then on that topic, so there is no set amount now, but it may be that you'll look at the project holistically, look at the jockey, look at the type of opportunity. And you might say, you know what, Andrew, I'll give you 60% loan to value. Or Andrew, based on the risk, I might give you up to 80%. Could you touch on Tutuko Fund for us and how that works for some people?
So Tutuko is a grant-based lending product that we have. It's underpinned by a grant that we have available for our clients. It offers you a bridge between the deposit required and the deposit you have if you meet certain criteria. And that criteria we can understand and analyze as we visit the client and as we interview and go through the entire application process. What it basically offers is it offers an opportunity for previously disadvantaged individuals to enter the property ownership market and for them to start becoming property entrepreneurs. We try to use that product to bridge the gap between the deposit requirement, like I said.
Absolutely. So there are different options for some people. And this is where if you are interested in TUHF and you want to find out more about TUHF, you can connect to Sershin and the TUHF team by going through SAP and Connect. There is a link in that comments box. I've also got a few questions for you, Sershin, which we'll come to just now about, if an investor brings a piece of land, will you fund the land and the building of that if you're going to build up, 10 stories? Or, for example, somebody already has a block of flats with Standard Bank, and can they refinance with you? Or someone brings a deal, they're busy buying, and you're going to refurbish the product. There's different scenarios, right? And I want to touch on that a little bit later. But Dave, I'm going to come to you. There are a few questions in that chat box. Can you just post them and ask Sershin some of those questions?
100%. Let me just see if I can find one appropriately.
Perhaps there's the Ramsey one.
I see there's one right at the top there, guys, about our Umastandi offering in Durban.
Yeah.
And then there was another question about Umastandi down in Bloemfontein as well that I saw popped up. Yes. So Umastandi offering is an offering we have for township property development. We are limited to certain areas for now, but my suggestion is give your local office a call. We have in Bloemfontein, and I run the Bloemfontein office as well. So you can get a hold of that office and speak to somebody there, or you can call this office in Durban. And we have Umastandi consultants that will be able to walk you through a journey and see what kind of solution we can pick up for you.
Absolutely. And perhaps for the people who are brand new, Sershin, explain what Umastandi do or does.
So Umastandi is, or Tough 21 is our business that assists township development and township construction, and property development in the township segments or township areas. We pride ourselves with this product because it's something very innovative in the market, and it's again something where other property financiers wouldn't venture into, and it's something that's very close to our CEO's heart. And Andrew, you know Paul, and Paul is very about taking products to the people and making it what the people want. Let's not pigeonhole them to fit into our products. Let's build the right product for them. And that's exactly what Umastandi is. It's a similar tough product, generic tough product that's developed for township development.
Absolutely. There we go. So that's Umastandi. TUHF posted the link to Tough 21, Umastandi, if you want to speak to the team more about that market and that product. I see there's an interesting question here, Sershin. On Friday night, I was chatting to you about, or we were chatting about the importance of the jockey being in control of the building, i.e., we don't really want a guy from Nelspruit buying a property in Joburg CBD, or someone living in Joburg trying to remote manage a building in Durban CBD. Because Craig was asking, do we have deals in mind that Tough are looking for jockeys to manage? And I think we should touch on the importance from your side, Sershin, that you want jockeys that are going to be on the ground managing those properties rather than handing the full thing over to a letting agency. And if you do that you are still keeping your finger on the pulse. Let's just speak about that for a second.
I think the beauty of our business is that we're approximately 20 years old now. So we've taken a lot of our investors that started with us at the beginning, and we've grown them up into quite large property owners. You know, and these are the guys that have gotten to a point where they've got quite a few properties in quite a few cities, have the experience, paid that school fees, if you were, to understand the industry and the business, and then are at the point where they can start getting external management to their buildings. We also encourage, if you're coming into the industry new, to have a property manager, because again, they know the ins and outs of the industry, or they should know the ins and outs of the industry, and they can guide you to have better return and better outcome out of your property. Understanding Tough can only take you so far from a day-to-day operation point of view. I mean, we've got many clients to service, and every day we try to build our book and acquire new clients and so forth. So our relationship managers and our portfolio managers cannot hold your hand every single day from an fully operational point of view. And if you lack that experience, we encourage you to use property managers. And I think the question you were referring to, Andrew, was around, are we looking for property managers for our clients that are out of city? Yes and no. Yes, we are looking for people to assist our clients, but what we prefer doing is letting our clients going out there and finding the right person that suits them, because it's a relationship between them and their property manager. It has very little to do with Tough. It's like finding a banker for yourself. You need to find somebody that works with you.
Absolutely. 100%, Sershin, I agree. And I'll say, Sershin, that's where a lot of investors in general go wrong, is you can buy the best asset in the best part of town, but if you don't know how to manage the tenants when they start paying, when they start giving issues, that's where a lot of assets fall down. So it's a very, very important component of property investing in general. So what I want to do, Dave, is
one of the biggest...
Yeah, sorry.
Sorry, one of the main things, and a different understanding from owning a single unit to a multi-unit property or a CBD property, is the ability to manage cash flow and understand cash flow. And I think that's where Tough sets itself apart from the rest. We offer a 15-year facility as opposed to a 7 and 7 or a 5+7, however the other commercial banks want to run it. And that 15-year facility really allows you to manage your cash flow from day one, allowing you to grow your business with you.
Absolutely. which is very important. And my next question for you, Sershin, is what I was talking about earlier about the different models that you do finance. But just before we do hit that, Sershin, Dave, who is with us today? Has anybody just joined? Because if you have just joined, it's Andrew Dave's Coffee Chat. We've got Sershin Moodley, the regional manager of Durban and Bloemfontein, asking Sershin questions around TUHF. Who are TUHF? How do they help us as property entrepreneurs? So, Dave, who's out there?
Yeah, so some of the interesting people we have out here, sorry, the people who pop up to the top of my list. Leroy Slavazan. So Leroy did a deal with TUHF up in Boksburg, if memory serves. So really good to see some TUHF clients here as well. We got Henry Versman, one of our oldest members here. We got Mark coming on board with a question as well. Kendall from Durban is here. So it's good audience. If you guys have any questions, we still have a couple more minutes with Sershin. So please feel free to ask those questions now, or we still have some time.
Yeah, brilliant. So I think, Sershin, tell us about the different models. Even though we've touched on some of them, let's just go through all the models.
So Andrew, you spoke about if you had a piece of land, would we help you acquire the land and build it, or build what you require? You asked a question about if we had a building that you needed to renovate, or if you had a building that you needed to drop down and bring up something different. Yes to all of them. We will finance you to get the best densified project for yourself on the site. And densification is important and key to running this business. It's about getting maximum return whilst giving the end user, which is your tenant, a quality product to live in.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I think the good thing about that, just to add in, for those of you guys, development always comes as one of those things people consider, but the cities have been driving it as well. So we're getting good support from Durban, Joburg, Cape Town as cities because they want higher density in the inner city. So that opportunity has definitely grown. It's been a lot easier in the past 3-4 years to get projects like that going.
And there's quite a few offerings with UDZ grants and tax incentives and stuff like that. So it's an ideal time to start investing. It's an ideal time to start exploring opportunities. If it's not for yourself, then get into a group of friends and look at these opportunities together.
Yeah. And Sershin, someone was asking me over the weekend with regards to inner cities across South Africa. And they said to me, in your opinion, Andrew, where are you seeing, call it the best inner city, or is it Joburg, or Joburg, is it Cape Town, is it Durban, is it Bloem? Is there a city right now in South Africa that's just doing very well? The municipality is great. What's been your experience with all the inner cities?
So the reality is, I mean, all of the cities are great. It depends what you're looking to get out of it. If you're looking for a CBD that has 2 million up properties, then your city is Cape Town that you're looking at. If you're looking at a CBD that is close to the beach, where you have sectional title units running from 350 to 650,000 rand, opportunities to rent between 4,000 and 8,000 rand a month, then Durban is the city you need to look at. It all depends. If you're looking for a city that allows you to commute in from the outskirts of Free State for your Monday to Friday work opportunity, with bed sharing and bed letting opportunities there, then Bloemfontein is your city. And I focus on those two cities because I can't say Durban's better than Bloem because my team in Bloem wouldn't be very happy with me. But both cities, all cities have their values. It's about where you want to invest, the type of product you're looking for, and the type of return you want. It's not about making quick money. It's not about going in, buying a 20 million rand property and flipping it tomorrow for 25 million and walking away. Our business is about the long journey. Our business is about making money, but making money together on the journey together.
Yeah, so I think, Sershin, on that, I had a question because obviously I don't get to be in Durban often. So from a home buyer's perspective, we saw quite a decline in the Durban market after the whole situation that happened at the end of last year. But I'm under the understanding that the clients that we're targeting with the TUHF product are more average market. We're looking at tenants. We're not looking at those sort of high-end home buyers. What are your thoughts on sort of where the Durban market is?
So Durban market, is at an uptick and has been at an uptick for a long time. Yes, we did have a bit of a blimp uh, last year, mid-year, and I think we all know what the reason behind that was, and what it did to the economy as a whole. However, I think if you consider Durban as a whole and understand the opportunities it has all the way from Amanzimtoti right up to the Umhlanga, Kunubia, Phoenix area, you will see that there's different opportunities for different people. The property market is something that's quite stable. The property market is something that's quite available to almost anybody that has an income. So you can find a property for yourself depending on your lifestyle. But I think also the value of the KZN market is that there's a lot more opportunity coming out after COVID with the regeneration of commercial properties or commercially used properties into residential property in the CBD. There's also quite a bit of investment in the CBDs in the last 2 years, as opposed to 5 or 8 years ago, where even the municipality has come on board and started helping developers and contractors and investors like ourselves bring clients back into the CBD and beautify it and make it make it whole again. I've got clients in the CBD that have put up properties that are just 6 2-bedroom units, but then I have clients that have put up properties that are 10 floors high, has its own pool, indoor yoga studio. Bottom floor is childcare and restaurants, and the catering for the 5 to 7,000 rand a month market. Um, those kind of projects are catalytic projects that TUHF loves getting involved in, because it's all about beautifying the area. It's about regeneration. It's about giving back to the community. It's about impact funding.
Yeah, 100%. So question came from Bapele over here. How do we find auctions for apartment buildings in the Durban area? So I think maybe at a high level, Sershin, how are you finding that your clients are finding property opportunities, and maybe can TUHF work on an auction property? Is it viable?
So we do quite a bit of work with private auctioneers. When they have stock, they bring it to our team to try to do some analysis on the property, on what numbers would work, what numbers would not work. Obviously, the more you sell out of the value stream, the higher the equity contribution or deposit required. So from a private auction house, we look at a lot of their properties that we'd be interested in, do numbers upfront, and we're able to finance them. Our staff are present at those auctions when the auction dates happen. With regards to shares auction, it's very difficult, because a property can go for 20% of its value or 120% of its value. It just depends. You can find out about about sheriff's auctions on the sheriff's website. It's quite easy to find, and it'll give you the date and time and location of all of the auctions. But what I would say is come and have a chat with us before you want to bid, because a lot of times you need 10% on the fall of the hammer, and you need guarantees in a specific time. And if you fail to make those guarantees, you lose your deposit. So come and have a chat with us first, and then let's take it from there.
100%. Thanks.
Great, thank you. So I see we did address this earlier, but I'll ask it again. Does TUHF are TUHF interested in places that are outside the CBD? So in Durban, for example, Morningside, would you consider, or if you're in a place like Pretoria, would you look at Arcadia? Maybe just speak to that point, say, Sershin.
So let's start with our positioning first. So we have offices in Cape Town, Port Elizabeth, East London, Durban, Bloemfontein, Johannesburg, Pretoria. That's our main offices, and where we have staff sitting all the time. Our focus areas, as I say, 20 years ago, we started as inner city funders, and that's where we saw the opportunity. And we are just as bit of entrepreneurial and innovative as our clients are. So we saw the opportunities, we saw the market, and we went there. Our business has grown substantially, and we're very happy at the growth. And we see opportunity now growing and people migrating. I know you mentioned that you have majority, a lot of KZN people here, so they'll be able to relate to this. Uh, 30 years ago, everything happened around the CBD area. Everything happened around town. You came for Christmas, you came down and saw the lights in the CBD. Shopping sprees, you walked down Smith Street and West Street. You went to the wheel, you went to the workshop, and stuff like that. Step 30 years down the line, people have migrated out of the cities and created little cities of their own. So Amshlanga become its own little micro city where if you live, work, and play in that area, there's very little reason for you to live. Amanzam Toti's become that, Westville's become that, and so forth.
Yeah.
With our expansion and our journey to now look in city rather than inner city, we are now looking at opportunities that make business sense. Obviously, need to meet certain criteria that we have, like, for example, access to public transport, stock, access to a city environment. So, for example, one of the areas we are looking at currently is the Phoenix and Durban North area. And if you guys know the area, it's the working environments are all the way from Springfield Park to Amshlanga to Canubia, further up north even. So there's a huge node of industry and workplace there, and the people that work there need to live somewhere. It's no point me building a place in Canubia and an industrial park in Canubia and expecting my staff to travel all the way from Amanzam Toti, take a bus to CBD, and then from CBD take a bus to Canubia or Mshlanga. So what we're trying to do is create stock for people to live closer to where they work, and have the ability to build a life around where they live and work.
Absolutely. So if you're unsure, ladies and gents, whether TUHF would fund or wouldn't, just contact TUHF, go through SAP and connect with Sershin or one of his colleagues and say, this is the deal, it's in and around Durban or one of the cities, and they'll tell you off the bat whether they do lend there or not. Cool. Leroy says, great talk, very informative. Thank you, Leroy. Tandeka is asking, is TUHF a hard money lender? From Tandek, a hard money lender.
I assume Tandeka means lending money against property. I wouldn't say we're hard. I would say we're responsible.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hard money lender is a terminology that comes out of some of the US investment gurus. I can't always remember what it sort of translates to, but yeah, I would say TUHF is more of a bond partner, not just sending money down on deals.
Bridging or anything like that. No, of course not. Okay, great. So, Sershin, what I want to do is I want you to share where TUHF is going, the TUHF vision. Dave, let me know if there's any other questions. And then after Sershin has shared the vision of where TUHF is going as a company, let's wrap that up and go into events for the week, and then we can call it a task. So, ladies and gents, if you do have any questions, now is your last chance to ask them. But Sershin, so that's what TUHF do. That's where you are in the country. That's the type of property that you do lend on. Where's TUHF going in the next 5 years?
So, like we said, we're expanding our target area and our target markets. We see the potential of where people want to live in relation to their work environments. With the cost of transport and the cost of fuel rising, people more so want to be close to their work. So we want to develop more products that are in demand by our client base. We use a lot of our clients. We have a lot of conversations with our existing clients and our long-term clients to understand where they want to go with their business and what they have vision in, and where do they see themselves in a couple of years' time. And we try to mold products and make products that try to match their ambition. So in the short term, Andrew, we're pushing our Umastandi product, our TUHF 21 product. We're expanding our nodes to other centers of business. So, for example, in Durban, we're looking at the north area. We're looking at south, all the way down to Amanzam Toti, and then we skies are the limit.
Absolutely. And if you do want to meet some of the tough clients and tough colleagues this Wednesday evening at the Bryanston Country Club, Sershin, Sai, and a few other, Bonga will be there talking around tough products again. So if you want to meet some of the tough colleagues live, face-to-face, this Wednesday night is the evening. But Dave, from my side, I think we are done. I mean, are you done there, Dave? Any more questions come through?
That's good. Some people just asking where they can get access to the recording of this in case you guys came late. It does stay up on our Facebook page and on our YouTube channel, and I will share a link for this Wednesday's event in a few seconds, and you can go and book your seats, and like Drew said, meet the Tough team. Hopefully Leroy will be there. You can meet a few of the guys who worked with Tough and see how everything works.
Absolutely. And Sershin, just before you do go, I always ask the speakers to, what is one thing you'd like to leave our audience? Maybe some advice, or what is one thing you'd like to leave them for today?
Thanks for putting me on the spot, Andrew.
Always.
So much of advice to give. Which one do I choose? I think it's understanding what the right investment path is for you. We all have ambitions and ideas of grandeur, but I think it's also very important to keep a mentor or somebody by your side that can pull you back down to reality. I think even in my personal life, I believe it's important to have somebody there that can always just keep you in check. We want to grow, we want to invest, we want to make a lot of money and be successful, and we have every right to. But we also need to be realistic about where we're going and sometimes have sense check. And I think, Andrew, that's where the value of your association comes in for your members. It's that sense check, it's that common sense voice, it's that little, hand against the back of your head kind of once in a while with a little slap or a little pet, depends what you need at the moment, to just keep you on the right track.
Absolutely. And that comes down to what you said right at the beginning. Have the vision, have the plan. Once you have the plan, choose the area, choose the type of building, choose the strategy, and walk the journey with someone like Tough who can help you execute that plan. And Sershin, from my side and from SA Property Investors Network, thank you for all your support and all your help in helping entrepreneurs build their property portfolios in and around the city centers in South Africa. So thank you very much.
Thanks, guys. Have a good one.
Awesome.
Cool.
Thank you.
Thanks so much.
Speak to you soon, Sershin. Okay, ladies and gents, that was Sershin Moodley, the regional manager for Durban and for Bloemfontein. Talk on who Tough is, what their models are, how they work, the vision for Tough. Very interesting. This is being live streamed, so you can watch it again and again. Please remember to tag in your colleagues or any friends that are interested in property. Every Monday at 1 o'clock, I go live with Dave. And next week will be interesting because I'll be in the UK, so we'll be live streaming from there. So Dave, maybe if there's any last questions you want to wrap up there about, I see the question on East London, and let's go through some of the events for the week and then wrap up.
Cool, 100%. So to answer when are we in East London, so we often pair PE in East London because they're really close. So I'm not sure where exactly it'll be, but we're planning to do something near the end of May. We'll have a networking event in PE or East London, maybe both if we can manage. It all depends on the demand. So if you do want to attend an event, if you do want us to come to East London, please do me a favor and email support@sapropertynetwork.com. It just helps us understand the demand and who wants us to go where, because that'll always be good. Otherwise, I think that covers it. We've got our event for Wednesday. For those of you guys, the links are over there in the chat box. If you want to connect with the Tough team, I've shared the link for that a few times as well. You can head to sapropertynetwork.com/tough, TUHF, and you can connect with the team over there. Otherwise, that is good.
Awesome. Nice one. So that's Wednesday night. That's the public event. Sapin, it will be live streamed. So it doesn't matter if you're Durban, Bloemfontein, Cape Town, wherever you're in the country, you can still take part in it. It's our national public networking event. All our partners and sponsors will be there. I'll be there hosting with Cully, our team. So come say hi, come meet us, come meet all the service providers. It's the first public event we're doing live in over 2 years, which is awesome. So, I think, Dave, from that side, we'll see everyone on Wednesday. That's going to be there virtually or face-to-face. And we'll take it from there, hey?
Cool. Awesome. Thanks so much. Thanks, everyone. Cheers. See you next week.